Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing the newest sneak peek for next week's episode of The Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode 6, The King, The Widow, and Rick. With that being said, warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to episode 806, and let's jump right into this. So the sneak peek consists of the first 2 minutes of episode 806, which involves Jesus on night duty while being talked to by a prisoner savior. And although there's also a promo trailer, along with 2 other sneak peeks released for this episode, I've already discussed them in my previous video, so let's move along to this new preview for episode 806, which focuses on the Hilltop. As Jesus brought prisoners of war here, this will be a huge component of next week's episode. They for some reason never pre-planned the possibility of having prisoners, and apparently everyone has a different opinion of it. Tara, Morgan, Jesus, Maggie, Daryl, and others all have strong opinions about this matter, and it's starting to break up our group into different factions. With Jesus at least seeming like he's accepting responsibility for this, he's taking control of Night Shift. And remember, this is the first night of All Out War. Episodes 801 to 805 have all taken place in one day, and this reminds me of how the first 3 episodes of Season 6 took place over only 48 hours or so, and I really enjoy the fast-paced chaos that the multiple groups of our favorite characters face. So anyways, during the sneak peek for next week, we start hearing the conversation between Jesus and a prisoner. This savior is actually the same savior that first surrendered at the satellite compound, along with convincing his fellow saviors to do so as well. Also, when their prisoner transport was ambushed by barrel-rolling zombies, he was the savior who tripped the other ones, telling them to stay put, causing only Jared's group to run off as we saw. Now, although this conversation between Jesus and the Savior is kind of hard to make out, I'll still try my best to quote this as we run through it. So it looks like they're standing alongside the back wall of the hilltop, on the outside of course, with the prisoners sitting against the wall. Jesus looks like he's peeking into the hilltop through the wall maybe. The Savior starts out by asking Jesus, "What are you doing?" and Jesus says, "Don't worry about it." Then the Savior asks him, "Did you sign up for this when you joined the group?" Jesus just says nothing and looks around as he ignores him, but the Savior continues to speak and he explains his story in the zombie apocalypse. He first says that he was by himself, but that he finally found a safe place with a bunch of strong survivors. He describes them as tough guys and mentions that eventually one of them took over and another one after that. And then he says something about how he wasn't really paying much attention to it all because he was getting fed. He takes a pause and explains that he's good with his hands and that the Savior sent him over to the satellite compound so that he could put up a fence. He then tries saying something else, but Jesus cuts him off saying, "You can stop now, don't pretend that any of us are innocent." This implies faults on both sides, as Jesus is obviously not happy with the situation. And that guy is a savior just because he says he's a fence builder and not normally stationed at the satellite outpost. It doesn't mean Jesus should believe that he's innocent. After what that guy pulled in the satellite outpost when he faked pissing his pants in that closet just to act all innocent, it seems like Jesus has learned his lesson from that, along with having his bullshit detector upgraded. This sneak peek ends off with the Savior taunting Jesus once more as he says, "What do they call you? Jesus? Well, Jesus, I'm no angel." So what do you guys think will happen between Jesus and the Savior? Will anything happen at all, or is this just a random conversation? I have my full predictions for the Hilltop in my previous video, but will the Saviors escape and cause trouble? And if this Savior does escape, will he do something horrible, or maybe something that could potentially redeem him even more? Feel free to leave all theories and predictions down in the comments section below, but I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Walking Dead content in the near future. And if you'd like to take that extra step in helping support my videos, feel free to consider checking out my Patreon, where there's a bunch of different rewards involving the channel. Know that it's not necessary by any means, but some of these videos do take a while, so it could really help in the long run. But as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.